do is we're going to go 18 to 9 and give each of the bottom 10 sides a grade for the season.
Yeah.
We're going to start with West Coast. Do you want to? We'll go you, Easty, and then me.
Do we just give grades and then we'll have a chat?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah. West Coast F.
Easty gave him a C. I gave him a D. Do you want to justify
Yeah.
your?
So first team to lose 23 games in the year. They got hit hard with injuries in terms of their senior players.
Yeah.
But I just think it's the worst. You can't give anything besides a foul.
Yeah.
But Harley re-signed, and they got 3 picks in the first round, so it can lead to a jump. I think they had the right direction with Baker and Graham.
Agree.
And I think they should continue down that path, whether it's Starcevic or maybe a few more.
Yeah.
Starcevic, McIntosh.
Yeah.
Depends that. And then we'll have to place Allen, but it looks like they found it with Job.
Job Shanahan looks...
So that's why I was a bit harsh on the...
I don't think it's that harsh. To be honest, I actually had them as an F and I bumped them up to a D. But you're right, like one win in a season almost has to be an F, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course.
The only reason I bumped them up was just because they started to look like an actual rebuilding team and they did blood 8 debutants.
Yeah.
They got full seasons from Elijah Hewitt, which was huge.
Yeah.
And then Rhett Bazzo and Campbell Chesser back on the park is big for them as well. Good. And then same thing I spoke about, Jimby, Baker, Graham and Hoff were all huge ticks, and you re-signed Harley, which was massive.
I did think the first quarter of the Sydney game illustrated the game plan that they wanted to play with.
Yeah.
The whole year.
Yeah.
But it just
quick
didn't.
Footy.
Yeah. But so there's signs for hopefully, but
and
I guess
Mini was thrown in quite late.
Yeah.
I think now he gets a chance to have a full off season. He'll speak with Matty Clark about what they want to do with the list.
Yeah.
Actually have some opinions. He's already started to bring in some of his guys from Melbourne as well.
Yeah.
I think next year will look a lot more cohesive.
Yeah.
Easty gave him a C. That's a bit higher than both of us. He said that he thinks we all knew this would happen with gun vets like Yo, Waterman, Sheed, Allen and Gov all missing. Winning games would be a challenge, but their game style is easy to understand and very promising. And he wrote that T-Mac, Tom McCarthy, is an A+. He was one I missed as well. Very good, Tom McCarthy.
Yeah.
They nailed that pick in the mid-season draft. So, yeah, there you go.
Move on. We'll go to Richmond. We'll went them for a B.
I gave them a B+, and Easty gave them an A.
No one expected them to win the game.
No.
Like that first game of the season when they beat Carlton there,
I
was like,
rattled.
holy shit.
I was one of them. I did not expect them to win a single game.
Yeah, but to win 5 games, I thought was pretty impressive.
Massive.
In terms of the list, they went old school rebuild, just culled everyone, go young. And to be honest, they could have easily won 8. They lost to North by 4, they lost to the Giants by 3, and then they lost by Saints by 4.
Yep.
So that has to be seen as a positive. I do think they need some firepower up forward, though. Seth Campbell was their leading goal kicker this year with 28.
Great year, Seth Campbell, yeah.
But
you need more, don't you?
Yeah, that's your leading goal kicker.
Yeah.
It's a bit scary. They have picks 3 and 4 this year, plus Josh Smiley, who I think they
didn't get to see it
trial
all
this year, and then the other guns that they've got there, Layla, Tash Hodden.
Yeah, very talented.
Yeah. And then it was a positive for them. Bolter got through the curfew just fine.
Yeah.
Tom Lynch calmed down a bit.
Yeah.
He wasn't as aggressive. And Dion Prestia got through
without
tearing a hamstring.
I was actually very surprised that the meatball had the season
I
he did.
thought he would have had another injury.
Yeah. Easty gave him an A as well. That was higher than both of us, but I think we're all pretty much around the same mark. He touched on the same thing. Some predicted they wouldn't win a game, and with young guns missing, they still got to 5 wins. And he said that Adam Uze looks like he can be a good coach in this league. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think Uze showed that he was quite a talented coach.
Yeah.
I had him down as a B+, same thing, 5 wins after people had them going winless. I thought the Bolter thing was a bit ugly, poorly handled. You're right. By the end of it, they just sort of swept it under the rug and they went with it. But they were able to blood 9 debutants, which was good. Sam Banks, you already touched on. Fantastic year. I thought Seth Campbell had a fantastic year. Nick Vlosten is every chance to be an All-Australian tonight.
Yep,
for sure. And then Houghton and Lawler showed heaps. And then the other thing I just had written down at the end was Josh Gibcus and Makelty Lafau got back from long-term injuries, which was another positive for them. So
I think Gibcus will be one.
I think he will too, So, and I like Lafau as well. So, to be honest, great season for Richmond, really, even though you
for not great season in terms of what everyone thought.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Not on the results,
Yeah.
but I think every Richmond fan would turn around and go, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. Shin bonus.
Yes,
Lead us.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
happy to kick us off. I gave us a C+.
Yeah.
I thought it was just below a good result, but
Yeah.
I think going into the year, people sort of said maybe 6 wins would be a pretty good result, and we got to 5, so I think it was all right. They blooded 5 debutants, 4 from the mid-season draft of the last couple of years, so that was good to see. I thought Parker and Darling worked.
Yeah.
I thought Daniel didn't. I think
Yeah, he's a bit of an
Daniel
interesting one, isn't he?
gets a lot of the footy still, but his ball use, I think, has gone downhill a fair bit.
And he's not that lockdown defender, is he?
And as he gets older, his strength goes. He's already doesn't have the height.
Yeah.
So I think he struggles as a defender. Wonder whether he almost gets moved up the ground a bit next year.
Yeah.
And potentially use him on a wing or something like that.
Yeah.
They look. Jackson Archer, Miller Bergman, Coleman Jones, Braden George, Josh Goda, Luke McDonald, Darcy Tucker, George Wardlaw all missed substantial periods. So they were hit pretty hard by injury, and even at the end of the year, they lost Larkey as well.
Yeah.
But I just had written down some of the guys that were ticks. Paul Curtis, amazing year, massive tick. Colby McKercher was really good.
Yep.
Finn O'Sullivan showed a bit. Luke Parker was good. Toby Pink had a
he
great patch during the year.
Yeah.
Harry Sheasel was obviously a tick. Dylan Stevens, I thought, had a great year.
Yep.
Trembath, we've touched on. And then Sherry and Zerha. Zerha obviously kicked career-high goals. So there were a lot of ticks there.
Yeah.
But the only other thing I had written down was that next year you have to continue to improve.
Yeah,
it can't slide. It can't stagnate. This needs to be an upward trajectory now.
Yeah. And I think Easty went with, you had some good games, gap between the floor and ceiling, so between those top elite players. If it's this time next year and they're in that same position, it has to be an F.
Yeah, so that's exactly
time to win. Yeah, and I was down a similar path, but they were touted to be lit. They had the potential to rise.
Yeah.
But it was sort of just the same old results, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Larkey and Curtis really took the next step.
Good. I thought that forward line looked a lot more cohesive, which was great to see.
But they just have to commit to playing their guns in their positions.
Yeah, good.
Play Sheasel in the midfield. Colby, wherever you see him, I think personally probably midfield. Mm-hmm. Play him or Finn O'Sullivan or who they want, but commit.
Yeah.
Don't play them and then spit them to a wing or a half forward.
It's really tough to perform when you're getting thrown around. Yeah. And I think that's been the problem for Zane Dersmer as well. Where he's come in and he's played on a wing, or he's come in and had some
he's got potential.
Forward sub, a lot of potential. Yeah. But these guys, you're right, they need to just Clarko needs to go to them and say, mate, this is the position you're playing. Yeah. Learn it.
Lock it down. We'll back you in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And regardless how you play. Yeah. And they tried around their first pick this year. Yeah. So that was a bit hard, but yeah.
Apparently, Gold Coast will obviously trade their first rounder out this year, given they've got academy bids that they want to use. So apparently, North are one of the teams that are looking at trading for Gold Coast's first round pick.
Would they get traded future or players?
Probably future, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
But all right. Well, let's start with Easty for Essendon. He gave them a C+. He said it's hard to judge their year based on their injuries, but giving a plus due to finding some hidden talent. I gave him a B. I sort of thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Tough year with injuries, sure, but I was happy with the successful change of their mindset. They could have played the woe is me card and going, I think we would have been a finals team without the injuries, and pretended that they would have been better. Instead, they lent into the switch of their goals and they blooded a record 15 debutants.
Yeah.
And found a couple in there, I think.
Yep.
They've got picks 5 and 6 with plenty to come back from injury next year. I think they also need
5 and 6.
Pick 5 and 6. They got Melbourne's first round pick as well.
Yeah.
So they should hopefully find some stars there. We talked about how they've got a lot, but they don't have, besides merit, they don't have a young superstar.
Yeah.
Picks 5 and 6, you should hopefully be able to find one with that.
Yeah, at least one.
At least one.
Yeah.
And the other thing I had written down was they're another team that need to be ruthless, I think, with their delistings. A lot of plotters on that list.
Yeah. They started off the year pretty well. They were 6 out of 10.
Yep.
They were just outside of 8 in rounds 9 and 10, but just a little bit of percentage. Yeah, well, you touched on. They don't have a lot of firepower, do they?
No. There's a lot of talented kids there.
Yeah.
But there's no Dacos there. There's no Darcy there. There's no Bont there.
Yeah.
They need a star.
I was thinking about them the other day, and I was thinking about their back line. Ridley, Roberts, Reed,
Yeah.
Nick Martin, if he goes back there, that's where I think he plays best. Redmond and McGrath, I think they can work for a top 8 team next year, but it's just you got to decide whether you want to be that top 8 team or whether we're going to go back to basics. But I think, it was just so hard because they got hit hard with the injuries, and even later in the year when there was like 3 weeks to go, and then like they had like 3 go down, Parrish, Reed went again.
Makes it so
it was
tough.
just so hard, but like you said, I think they need a big shake-up.
Yep.
And, at least the kids have had a run now, so you know what you got.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, it's almost a blessing in disguise with the injuries where they're actually able to blood all these kids. And some of them, I think, we see a bit in. So
yeah.
Do you want to start us off with Melbourne?
Yeah, I went for a D with Melbourne. Yep. When I was trying to think of some notes, I was just like,
boring.
They lost their coach.
Yeah.
They won premiership 4 years ago. It looks like Petrarca, Oliver, May, Lever all lost their spark.
Agree, yeah.
I think they all need change-ups.
Yeah.
I think Petrarca, maybe Hawks, Oliver, get him into a new midfield.
Been linked to Geelong in the past, potentially.
I think May's been linked to maybe Bulldogs, who said are missing that big fullback.
Yeah, Lever's been linked to North.
They've got no forwards.
Nah, this has been a problem for a while. So.
Yeah, so they need to address that. Max is holding down the club
he
at
really
this stage.
is. Yeah, credit to him.
Only positive I saw is just Langford, Lindsay, Windsor at times, but they dropped him even. Yeah. Like even their first round picks from last year, Windsor, Dolstrock.
Yeah, haven't shown.
Yeah, Cully and Bowie, I think were pretty good towards the end of the Cully at
Bowie
at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be painful.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
I don't see a lot of sunshine and rainbows.
No greener pastures coming. I think they need to be ruthless as well. I wrote the same thing. I gave them an F. I thought, given the list and where it's at, they don't really have anything in the cupboard coming through. Yeah. They've got no first round pick this year. They're aging. I thought this type of list needs to be competing, and they were so far off that. I think this is like a disaster of the highest order. The only positives I could find were Gawn and Cozzy having all Australian seasons. Yeah. But like you said, Petrarca looked way down. Oliver the same, May and Lever. Goodwin sacked. Everything went wrong. Yeah. I think everything went wrong, and they need to. We've spoken about it already, but we'll double down. They need to trade these guys while they've got value. Yeah. Because if they don't, it's going to be like you said, it's going to be a painful couple of years.
And Eastie gave them a D as well.
Yeah.
So Port Adelaide,
an interesting one. I can start us off here. I gave him an F as well.
Yep.
I just thought, like, you played in a prelim last year. You were almost in a grand final, and you've dropped to 13th in this weird handover with Ken and Carr. It never seems to work, the handover.
They probably started it.
Yeah.
That started the downfall,
Agreed. I thought guys like Jace Burgoyne stagnated. Ryan Burton went backwards, and now he's been delisted. Willem Drew went backwards. Kane Farrell, Horne-Francis, Mead. All these guys seem to go backwards a bit. They didn't get anything out of Lukosius, really, who they gave up a first-round pick for. Todd Marshall, they got absolutely nothing out of. Pau Pepper with the ACL injury. So they struggled with having some of those guys out. But they can't solely rely on Rosie Butters and Georgiades. Yep. It's not enough. Like, you've got stars there.
That's
absolutely.
who I had. Those are their positives. They've got Butters. They've got Rosie. Georgiades took a real big leap.
Yep.
But Horne-Francis keeps getting injured.
Yeah.
Besides that, who's really there? Like, you can go to your Bergmans, you can go to your Farrells, but...
yeah, and they're good players.
Yeah. But
that's 2 players. You need 15 of these guys. I wrote as well that it's time for Horne-Francis to become a superstar. We talk about Rosie, Butters, Georgiades. He needs to be the 4th one there. They need him to absolutely fire next year.
But is it... have you got all your eggs in one basket there? Your midfield's elite.
Like,
or
probably
if you play
the
Rosie
best in the
half
league
back,
almost.
But...
well, yeah, that's true. But yeah,
But then what do you got besides that? So I gave Port a D.
Yep.
I don't see much. It's just too unreliable from everyone else.
Agree.
And then EC went with a C as well.
Yeah, same thing. So, prelim to missing finals is a pretty poor result.
Yeah. Saints, I gave them a C.
Mm-hmm.
Eastie gave them a B.
And I gave them an A.
There you go.
Do you want me to start it off?
Sure. Let's hear it.
I thought that they found so much talent this year in Boxall, Hall, Turret. Like, we already spoke about how much talent they found.
Yeah.
And to be honest, their whole season, I thought, was based around Naz becoming arguably the best player in the game.
Yeah.
And just them keeping him.
Yeah.
Almost gave it an A for that. Like, that was the one goal. They weren't going to play finals.
Yeah.
They had one goal this year, which was to re-sign Naz, and they did it. They've got to get Max King healthy for next year.
Yeah.
Have to. But if they can, I think they've actually set themselves up to, add to the list over the off-season and push for finals footy next year, which we spoke about. So I thought it was a win for them.
So I was probably a bit harsher on the Seaside, but I just thought I'm optimistic for next year. But this year, a few wins, I think, helped them look better than what they were.
Yeah,
they're the only team to lose to West Coast this year.
Yeah.
So, but my points here. Like you said, the future looks. The blonde boys look good.
Yeah.
The Philippou needs to get right with Wilson, Garcia, Owens.
Yeah.
And then if we got that NAS effect, they start getting some free agents.
Yeah.
I think bit of watch out, I think.
Yeah. But Eastie gave him a B, and he just said the same thing. The fact that they kept Naz and finished so strongly gives their fan base some hope.
Yeah. Navy Blues. Are we all?
Look at this.
Nice.
Wow.
Triple banger.
D,
D, and D.
All Ds. You want to start us off?
Sure. Finals last year. And I think this year it just felt like they're hoping week by week.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get through. Without both of Kerno and Mackay, and what we touched on before, who do you kick to?
Yeah, there's nothing
there.
The
midfield needs a dasher, so I think Walsh was obviously a big out.
And looked pretty good when he returned, but he's had a few issues over his time.
But I think he still leads back to that same issue. You got your good midfield, Kerno, Cripps, Walsh, Chera, Hewitt.
Hewitt had a great year.
And then where else do you go? Like your forward line and your back line.
Yeah.
But obviously their fringe players just aren't what you need to be a finals team.
Yeah, it's their bottom 10, isn't it?
Yeah. Next year though, who knows? You got Nick Newman, Jagger Smith.
Jagger, I'm really excited about seeing.
And a first round pick.
They don't have their first round pick.
They don't have it.
I think Hawthorn have it, right?
Yes, that's right, because they traded for Jagger last year. Yeah. So they actually don't have a first round pick. But those two probably aren't enough to make a difference. TDK's gone, Silvani's gone. What happens with Kerno Mackay? Yeah. It's probably a little bit scary.
Yeah, I think we keep preaching it, but you've just got to make a call.
Yeah.
Do we think we can win a flag? If not, let's cash in now, because you can rebuild around a Jagger Smith and a first round pick if you get it for Kerno, and a first round pick if you get it for Mackay, and all of a sudden there's something coming in. Yeah, but you're right. You've got to choose that path, and you've got to choose it now.
Yeah, of course.
Before Tassie. Before Tassie, yeah, exactly right. D as well. I said that same thing. So Akers went backwards. Cripps, I think, went backwards from his Brownlow year last year. Sard went backwards, and Doc did the same, and now Doc's obviously retired.
Yeah.
They're losing DeConning and Silvani, so they're already losing soldiers. I think Kerno and Mackay are every chance to go, so it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
I do think Nick Haynes, George Hewitt, and Zach Williams all had
Haynes was good this year.
Haynes was good. He's a good
underrated.
Yeah. But they got nothing from Elijah Hollins, Brody Kemp, Matt Cottrell, Nick Newman, Jagger Smith, and Sam Walsh until the end of the year. Like you pointed out, Harry O'Farrell and Hudson O'Keefe and Moya, quite like. So there's something there.
Is it enough? We don't know.
It's not enough, I don't think, yet. But and obviously no first round pick yet until potentially Kerno and Mackay go. Actually, they will have a first round pick with a DeConning compensation. That's what they will get. So you've got to nail that pick, though. You've got to absolutely nail that pick.
Yeah, 10. I think it's around 10.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah. So, and EC said the same thing. Also a D. High hopes for finals with a healthy list, but the club's in turmoil and losing players. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Sydney, EC said, I'm not doing that. So
I just noticed that. He's got Sydney and then nothing.
So maybe he's gone for SY and then D.
Yeah, we'll say D. No.
We'll leave him out. This one. Sydney, I gave a B.
Yep, I went C-. Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I think it all started off shit.
Yeah.
When Dean Cox said, boys, let's do a 2K'er. Let's run the 2K'er.
And then
they come back. Let's run another one. It's just, who does two 2Ks in a row?
I've never seen. I forgot that happened.
That's what kicked the season off.
Yeah, that's a blow to the ego of a lot of guys.
Obviously they got hit with injuries. With Gordon is huge.
Yeah. Speaking of getting off to a bad start.
Yeah, they had that fun run towards the end of the year until they lost to the Giants, where they won those few in a row. I think they'll be okay next year.
Yeah, great.
Like when everyone's healthy, but we've spoken about it before. They need 1 or 2 full forwards. They need someone proper. You can't rely on McDonald and Marty McLean, Francis Hamling. Just not going to cut it.
No, but I think that's almost a positive in that the blueprint is quite simple for them.
Yeah,
Everyone seems to know exactly what they need.
But if they just get that forward, I reckon it's perfect.
I think it's perfect, yeah. Yeah, look, I had a C-. It was disappointing to go from a grand final to 10th with a coaching change. They had a lot of injuries, but same sort of thinking. It's just a gap year, I think. They'll be back next year with full seasons from guys like Amati, Fox, Errol, McDonald, Mills, Papley and Adams. They all missed significant time. They were hit pretty hard. But same thing. They need a key forward desperately, whether that's Curnow, Mackay, Ugle-Hagan. I thought Grundy and Mills and Heaney's second half of the seasons were awesome.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I had written down was, can you cash in on a Jake Lloyd, who was not necessarily in their best 22 towards the back end of the year? Ollie Florent got dropped as well.
They even flicked out Matt Roberts.
Matt Roberts as well, yeah, it's a good point. So whether or not these guys are still in their plans for next year, whether you want to keep them as depth pieces.
I reckon there's value there, but
there might be
someone would take them.
I think they would, yeah. Matt Roberts especially, I think, has a lot of talent. So, yeah there you go. Last one.
I think this can be quite universal. It's a fail from Bulldogs.
It is. It's a fail.
Missing the 8th. Your team's just your list is too good.
Way too good to be missing finals, yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. Your list is good. So what actually does have to change? Is it a game plan? Or
I actually couldn't point to the problem.
Yeah.
I don't really know what it is because you're right, the talent is off the charts.
Maybe just a slow start?
Potentially, yeah. They went 2-9 against top 8 sides, which is quite frankly pathetic.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're sort of sitting here and we don't know what the answer is, but whether it's coaching, is it Bevo? They seem to trust Bevo. They gave him an extension.
We've said the fullbacks. I said they might get Stephen May next year, but I don't know. It's interesting.
It is. You've got
they had to play Treloar in the final.
I think they did. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. Yeah, he had 40 and in like 60% game time the week before, and that's a guy who's got finals experience. Like he just had to
sub even
if it's sub. Yeah,
but disappointing from the Bulldogs.
Very disappointing. Like you've got the Bont's the best player in the game. You've got Darcy and Norton, who both finished in the top 10 of the Coleman. You've got
so Ed Richards,
that's
Bailey
3
Dale.
Australian squad mids. English is a top 5 ruck. Bailey Dale. Like there is talent everywhere here.
Bont just deserves so much better.
He does. He really does. It's such a good point. Yeah, it's such a good point. The only other thing I had written down was Waitman. They'll get back next year. I think he's more important than people give him credit for.
Yeah, I think so.
Ugle-Hagan, whether they get anything for him, it's kind of seeming like maybe not, and what they get out of Treloar next year as well.
He's a free agent, so
he was. Yeah, that's true.
He could be on the move.
They'll have their exit interviews presumably today and tomorrow.
Yep.
So yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see what they do because I think we've spoken about it most weeks. We don't really know where the improvement comes from.
Nah.
So what they do will be fascinating. East he obviously did this before last night's game, so he had Gold Coast or Western Bulldogs, but he gave them both an F. He said he doesn't care which one it is. They both failed horribly by not making finals, and I think that is fair. Do you want to lead us off for the last